This is Stan Hustad once again for the senior class. I oftentimes tell people, which is true for many of you men out there too, is indeed, I married above myself. Obviously, I've been blessed for over 50 years with Karen. And one of the ways I introduced myself and her to other people, I just simply said this: Karen is one of the nicest persons in the world. And I'm not. In fact, she probably is the nicest person in the world. Those of you who may know her know exactly what I mean by that. But that's got me to thinking, where does some of this good stuff come from? And what I have discovered is something that one of my doctors helped me to see, and then eventually that expanded into something else. And we were talking about, and he was talking about all of the experiences that he had had as a young man, as a doctor, and the things that had gone through in his life, and how his experience in his community and in his church and with the family, and all of that kind of came to make him what he was. And he was a real good doctor. And very much he had some real wisdom as to the relationship between our spiritual development and our physical well-being. And had really worked very hard believing that part of the problem with medicine is that we have oftentimes simply made it into a science, not knowing that to really get well or be well, it's not just the drugs and the surgery and the therapy. It actually is something much deeper inside of us and outside of us that makes us well. And so he did a lot of work on that. And one time he said to me, he said, "Stan, you have to understand that a lot of people have really got it well. It's not fair." And I said, "Well, what's that?" He said, "A number of us, because of the people we come from and the situations we've been around, we literally swim in a stream of grace, unknown to us. But it's there. It is as real as it can be, as if somebody would take us and throw us into the Mississippi and down we would go." He said, "We swim in a stream of grace." And I've thought about that a lot. And I think he's right. That part of what has made us who we are is that one generation, two generations, three generations, maybe way back, there has been a kind of a legacy of grace that we have kind of paddled around in and benefited from and not even known. A stream of grace. Well, more and more I can see that perhaps that's something that we are then supposed to not only enjoy, but perhaps to carry on and share with others. And one of the things that I really have to say was part of that is that Karen is not only a wonderful woman, but she came from a wonderful woman. My mother-in-law, Mary Ann Johnson, was truly one of the finest persons in the world. I have never met a more positive, not perfect by any means, but a more powerful, loving, caring person. She would talk and care for anybody. The joke was one time, that she spent 10 minutes talking to a wrong number and wishing them well. But what happened was that after Marion's passing, we began to put together, kind of a little video remembrance, and it just so happened that all of a sudden one of us discovered that there was a video that was taken a few years ago in which we kind of celebrated Mother's Day, and a variety of us came together and had a wonderful time at one of the nice places up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And somebody was taking a video of her, and what she said, "I want you to know that I just love you all. I love you all so much, and I hope to see all of you in heaven." And we found that. And it just so happened that that was the final word in the video that we had put together for her. Truly, part of the stream of grace that my children and I have comes from Mary and Johnson. But I also think about the fact that not only might I celebrate that, but maybe that was a good idea. That Marion was able to tell us, even on something like this, a video, just what some of her feelings were for the family and the friends and the people she had loved for so many years. I wonder if we ought to do more of that. Maybe we ought to prepare for that. Maybe it would be good with the technology we have is to kind of put together that final letter, that final note, perhaps that final love expression, perhaps that final stream of grace that we can share with others when we are no more. And that the only thing we have is the legacy of love and the stream of grace that we've passed on. That might be a good project for us. Let's think about that as we are going around and living life in the senior class. Peace.